Well, after getting a bit of a rumor from Noel Glenn he had it channeled, he still does, the TARDIS Zone, but someone attacked him or whatever, so he can't live stream on it anymore. So now he live streams on his second channel, the Irish Geek. So check that out. And so I came in rather late to his live stream this morning, but the upshot of it all was that apparently the rumor is that Joe Martin will not succeed Jodie Whittaker, provided the rumor that Jodie Whittaker is leaving the show. It certainly that one seems pretty likely, especially since the BBC is no comment on that. Well, it seems like they maybe if they just we want to wait to announce it at a special time or whatever, that kind of thing. But if she was definitely coming back for a fourth season, they probably would have said, "Oh, we love Jodie. We're sticking with her as long as she wants," and all that type of stuff. But I think it's more than likely, she'll leave. Sticking with the supposed standard of 3 seasons. For the most part, I guess that's true, but there's quite a few who did more, and one, unfortunately, who had to do less. Well, actually, there's several of them who had to do less, but most notably, poor Colin Baker, who got screwed over really bad at the time. But anyway, that's another story. So going with that, Jodie's leaving, which I think she is. All the different guessing games of who would replace her, the most obvious in my mind, and I'll get into that, would have been Joe Martin. This business of her being a past doctor is terrible. It's much better that she would have been a future doctor. And as I may be mistaken, but I only got a recap of Noel's saying with the rumor he heard was that apparently that was the plan, that she would succeed Jodie. Which is just the idea of introducing a future doctor during the current doctor's run early on is something I always thought would be a cool thing to do. Just kind of do it differently and shake up the thing. And with time travel and whatnot, it's highly possible. And they almost did it with the next doctor, which that was a fake out, but that would have been interesting if Matt Smith had shown up in an episode with Tennant early on in that part, and then you find out later on that, oh, good Lord, he's the new doctor and all that. But that's how this appeared to be, except they kept tossing it around that this was a pre-Hartnell doctor. Her TARDIS looked more similar to the classic era. It was a really great control room. I wish that would have been Jodie's instead. And not knowing the sonic screwdriver and stuff, but with all this, oh God, this Timeless Children thing is so awful, but still the mind wipes and whatnot, and that there was some rumor that the TARDIS is dying, and that's why it looks the way it does. It's all very dark and everything. And the doctor is desperate to restore the TARDIS, and she travels back to ancient Gallifrey and discovers the real truth. Another secret besides Timeless Children. Perhaps it's a retcon of that crap, hopefully, because I think it's a terrible, terrible idea that Chibnall has forced onto the franchise. But that she finds it, and the Time Lords agreed to save the TARDIS, but in return she has to have her memory wiped yet again, and that explains why Joe Martin's doctor doesn't remember Jodie or the sonic screwdriver and stuff like that, so the memory's a bit of a jumble. And there you go. Now, how you would it would be a clever thing if they could repace it back to where she gets to where she was as Ruth, and all that sort of thing. But apparently the state of Doctor Who is so bad that the BBC says, no, the next Doctor's got to be a man. So I was like, wow, things must be pretty desperate when they violate their own rules, because I just assumed that it's going to be female, and keeping with the narrative, and I think it would be much better to maintain. I mean, you're kind of painted into a corner. At this point, I wish they'd have just not done the whole Jodie Whittaker thing. I was open to the idea of a female doctor for ideas of exploring regeneration and stuff like that, but this was just this was just garbage. It just wasn't. It was lazy and slap job stuff, and it was terrible. And so I would have just rather they'd gone with the most popular guessing game after Capaldi announced his departure was this guy here, Chris Marshall. And now he's back in the running again. And apparently, according to this article from Metro, he's in the lead of betting odds. Of course, he was in the lead the last time, right up to the moment that Jody was announced. So I don't know that you can go by this at all. But for whatever, there it is, Chris Marshall. At the time, it said that he was quitting the show he was on, Death in Paradise. This article seems like he just did that. So I don't know. But I'm not familiar with the show, but whatever, There he is. That's his Doctor Who outfit, and there's his new companion, and it's done deal. So apparently this lady, Michaela Cole, was in the lead, and now he's taken the lead now as far as, I guess, betting odds on who will replace Jodie. Meanwhile, there's another Metro story about this mysterious supposed new companion coming of comedian John Bishop joining the show. And Chip knows that I had my eye on him for years. Oh, yes. But still, then the guessing is, is he the Doctor and doesn't know it, and he has a chameleon arc and thinks he's just, a construction worker or something. And all that. And then in the end, he'll be the new Doctor. Who knows? But a way to compromise that, if the Joe Martin idea was for her to succeed Jodie, and with the state that Doctor Who is in, and they want to get to a male Doctor, the compromise would be to go ahead and have Joe Martin be the Doctor that Jodie regenerates into. You keep with the story that the memory, that's key, because you have to, the way it is, because why doesn't she remember her and all that? And that's something, either that storyline of the TARDIS dying or whatever, or just something really devastating happens to force the regeneration. It's always something, and the effects and ramifications of it is that she's got some memory loss. This isn't new. The Eighth Doctor couldn't remember who he was for a while, and there's always, regeneration is not easy for them. Certainly for the Doctor. It seemed pretty easy for Romana, but she just decided to do it, like changing clothes. But it is obviously like Colin Baker's Doctor went crazy for a while, and Peter Davison was really sick when his Doctor had to go to the Zero Room and all that. So the idea that the Doctor could have some amnesia as a result, depending on what happens, that's not that far-fetched, and that could explain Joe Martin. And with the state the Doctor Who's in, is there even going to be another season after Whittaker's gone? I don't know. So the compromise would be some special episodes, I don't know, 4 or 5 or whatever, something like that. Probably 4 max. And then she, and it can jump it over time enough to suggest there's more adventures with her, and Big Finish could flesh those out too, and then she regenerates into your male Doctor that you bank on, that becomes more popular. Thing is, what if she's really good? So you might change her mind halfway through. That could be too. So, but in order for the story to play, she has to be the next Doctor. I'm not happy where Doctor Who is, but narratively, that's the way that goes. And if you do it like that, then whether it's Chris Marshall or whoever could come in. This also, with the idea of specials, I think offers the opportunity to big name stars, which is another point that was made on Noel's video, is that they really do. I mean, Michael Sheen keeps coming up. It seems unlikely, but depending on what his commitments could be, if it's a limited amount of episodes, like specials or whatnot, might be able to come do that to boost it up again. And if it starts doing well, then they can invest in the time and money that it takes to do a full season, But right now, it's in bad shape. and it's an expensive show to shoot, and so time will tell. But just the way the story has gone, I suppose I could just ignore it and forget it happened and move on, like the Valiant and is the Doctor half human and stuff like that. But I mean, it's really starting to pile up. So I think it would be best for Joe Martin getting. Well, if you give her a full season, fine, but whoever replaces, I don't even know. They might, even with Chris Marshall, they'd probably just have to do specials for a while or something like that because of the state it's in. I don't know that you can do a full series. Anyway, that's, my thoughts on it. Narratively, it's the position it's in. Should have just gone with Chris Marshall way back when, or better yet, keep Capaldi. Because, man, what a missed opportunity that was. He's easily, in my opinion, the best of the new Who Doctors. I know Tennant's the most popular, and he is, but what a missed opportunity with that talent. And he really showed that he could have been one of the best Doctors of all time, rivaling even Tom Baker. He just didn't get the stories worthy of his talent, in my humble opinion. And it always irritates me when I think about it. But, well, this is how it happened. So we'll see how they figure this out. But I mean, I guess Jim will pull a move here where you're kind of, what do you do with that? You've got to explain Joe Martin, unless you're going to say she's an alternate timeline deal or something like that, which he steadfastly said is not the case. But, well, he's not really in charge, is he? So, we'll see. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.